Right. Good morning. Welcome to a beautiful East Coast Saturday. Yeah, so I'm gonna try to go to the gym. Leaving Falls Church, heading to like the Pentagon Row area. And I would love to know if I can get there without having to take over. I think the answer is no, but I'm hopeful. Very, very hopeful. You know, as I think a little bit closer about comparing 8.1, 10.8.1 to 10.8, something feels different. I don't want to call it worse, it's just different. So I think that I'm going to continue to monitor like exactly what's different so I can say it and not just, you know, play the guess and check game, right? I just changed lanes there because I know I'm gonna have to make a left turn, and usually from my driving perspective, I like to stay, you know, within, let's call it within a mile of my turn if the traffic conditions are permissive. It seems like this morning those conditions are permissive, so I am going to follow my doctrine or my template for my driving style. And I think that is going to be the problem in the autonomous driving vehicle space, is I think users are going to have problems. Well, I mean, let me not say I think. I know users are going to have problems. It's evident as you listen to all the different FSD beta testers and their driving videos. You know, some of them are complaining about things that I don't see as a problem personally, right? So, you know, this might be a problem with driving styles.
Now turn left onto Northwest
as far as
Street.
People's assessments of when to take over, when not to take over, or whether or not they like a software version. So this was the turn last time that I took that almost ran into the other car, and when you look to that direction, you could see. So you all can't see it, but I can. But I can see why a mistake like that we made. And today, it did not try to run into the other vehicle.
Now turn right to stay on Northwest Street.
I'm impressed. So let's get the clap. That would be a clap moment. But look at this, right? This just navigated into the lane perfectly.
In 500 feet, turn right onto Lincoln Avenue.
Yeah, I don't know what to say. That turn was perfect. I was expecting the problem, and FSD did not let me down. I bet you Tesla's like silly, or the vehicle's like silly human. How dare you question me? Or I might have submitted a bug report and then they did a quick fix. But I don't know. Okay, here we go. So this one should be easy, but now what's weird is there's a pedestrian. Ooh, and it's kind of slowing down. And the pedestrian is kind of on the side, almost giving like an indication of, hey, I want to go. So I had to press the accelerator slightly. I have no idea if I press it hard enough for it to act, but I did have to press the accelerator because the pedestrian, I believe, caused the vehicle to slow down. I think the same thing is kind of happening here because there's a pedestrian to the right, but it actually handled it well. So pretty good. I mean, hopefully you all see that blind spot monitoring feed. It's so cool. I'm trying to train myself how to look at it, right, and have confidence in it, because I'm still experiencing the, you know, driver's ed syndrome, which is probably the right syndrome to have for now, but where I look at the screen, I look to the left, I look at my blind spot, you know, I do like 15 different looks. I need to work on just being efficient with my head turns and I guess being chill while I'm driving. That situation that we just passed was interesting. So the gentleman was walking from his bus with a, you know, box in his hand. He just kept walking. I would have thought the vehicle would have like stopped to let him go, but it's possible that because there was no crosswalk that didn't happen. But that was an interesting observation. Here's another interesting one. So the way these two lanes are designed, there's a left and there's a straight and right portion. I'm currently sitting on the make a left portion, but because the lanes are so tight together, I think there's a significant leeway in regards to what's right or wrong. But overall, pretty good job by the Beta. Yeah, but these Betas are weird. I think we know the. Ooh, here it is. This is the problem right here. So that vehicle went on the straight lane, and you know, if I didn't have space, or if there were additional vehicles, it would have been awkward because I would have had to, you know, indicate to the right and then enter the right lane to go straight. But luckily, we were not experiencing that. But yeah, I do like some of these drives because I get an opportunity to look at houses. I mean, just like when any of us drive, we look at houses, but it's a little bit different when the car is doing work, right? And you're supervising. Some of these houses are beautiful. I'm more looking at garages, trying to steal ideas for what I need to do to modify my garage. Speaking of garages, one thing that I'm not going to do yet is enable summon at home for use with the garage, because I'm very, very concerned about how that's going to work. Right, because for it to work, you have to rely on my cue.
Turn left onto highway.
Ooh, look at that. Interesting. I would have been on the right lane earlier on. But yeah, so at home you have to rely on, you know, the Chamberlain's tool
highway.
being functional and having network connectivity for remote garage opening, right? Obviously, I think currently with the home, the garage openers that are built into the vehicle, they do, you know, line of sight based, not line of sight, but proximity based RF, right? Where the module emits a signal and then the garage opens, similar to how your garage opener would work. But like I said, in the long haul approach, you would be leveraging the network to trigger garage closures and openings. I'm very concerned about that personally, because I don't trust the stuff yet. Even on the RF side, I still don't trust it, because I don't think the vehicles have a good, let's say, orientation code base. Whereas, so what that would mean is, like, if the car's in the garage, like it can like provide a visual to confirm all the objects in the garage and know how to navigate through it. I don't think the vehicles have that currently, and yeah, that's a slight concern for me right now. Yeah, but the houses here are pretty beautiful in the Falls Church, Williamsburg area in Virginia. Yeah, I think East Falls Church, Leeway, Highview Park, blah blah blah. But I still think there's promise. I think, you know, the question is, what is the autopilot team focused on within a given sprint or program increment, or, you know, a period, right? So you could think of that as a month or a year or whatever, a week-based coding cycles. Hey, another thing I find interesting is there's this Twitter guy on Twitter called, I think his name is Rice Fry or Fry Rice, something like that. Tristan, I think is his handle. But he publishes, so he's able to do some interesting things, right? He can disassemble, so he can gain access to the code base in the vehicles. He can disassemble the code and derive the model, like the models that are running in the vehicle somehow. I don't know how he does that. When I say derive, like, it's almost like he can extract the models and run it on his box, on his computer. That's what it looks like. It might be something else, but personally, I think that's impressive, right? Because when you talk about intellectual property, especially in the machine learning space, right, the intellectual property are the model weights for the most part, and biases and stuff like that. So imagine if people do work like that and then they just, you know, give it to another company, and then that company is able to deploy certain versions of FSD in their vehicles. I think that's interesting. I think that would be cool. Like, imagine FSD running on the BMW, right? Assuming the cameras were oriented the same way, same resolution, all that stuff. That would be kind of cool. But yeah, so the guy earlier this week, he actually built a. He said during the holiday he built a his own, you know, lightweight version of what FSD Beta is doing at home. I thought that was interesting. And then he got a job offer essentially from Elon maybe a couple months ago, and Andre Kampathi, who's the director of AI, also invited him to apply, I think yesterday. I thought that was very, very interesting. I don't even think that guy's interested. But I kind of get it too, right? Because if you could just do the security stuff on the side and maybe submit bug reports, I think there's more money there probably than actually working in the environment. So that's pretty interesting. But yeah, as you can see, I haven't had to take over so far, and we've been doing mostly city street driving. There'll probably be a point where we'll get on the highway, but it's not gonna be for long. But I think what's more interesting is just how effective this beta is being. I don't know if you all heard that horn. It had nothing to do with me. But yeah, that was something. Look at how the visuals are going. I kind of wish I was in the Model 3 where I could zoom in and out of the visuals and see more of the space. On the Plaid, you can only see what it shows you, right? You can't even manipulate the screen. But yeah, I'm good. I used to have a Model 3 and I loved that vehicle, man. That thing was a beast. At first I got a long range and then I got a performance. And the performance like changed my understanding of what it means to be a driver of a fast car. I mean, it's not super car fast, but it was amazing. Amazing maneuverability, especially when you're running late to stuff. It was so much fun to drive. And then this vehicle is like a spaceship. And I think I got this. Actually, I know I got this for several reasons. I almost wanted to kill like 7 birds with 1 stone. One, it's larger, right? So our son, his car seat can sit in the back. 2, it's really freaking fast, so my wife and I can have some fun. But now that the vehicle is almost driving itself fully, we would almost need to be extremely deliberate about taking the vehicle out to drive it. But like I said, she hasn't been in town. She's been spending time with family. So when she gets back, it's going to be interesting to see what her thoughts are. Hopefully I don't get the lightning bolt from long range from the wife. Okay. But she's excited. She's excited. I think she wishes I got a black vehicle with white seats. So I'm going to try to make that happen for her soon. Oh, this is interesting. How about you signal there?
Now bear left
FSD.
onto Old Dominion Drive.
So I just sent a snapshot to Tesla because I felt like the vehicle should have signaled there, but nothing truly unsafe occurred. Don't stop, don't stop, don't stop. Okay, good. So it kind of slowed down a little bit when the light was starting to shift, but it kept going, so that was good. I don't know if that's phantom braking or cautiousness, but I think everything that happened was okay. It's just the abrupt slowdown made me a little bit cautious. But so far, so good. Yeah, I think we're getting to a stage of engagement-free driving. That's pretty consistent. I think it almost feels like disengagements happen when, depending on like what your mood is. That's sort of starting to feel like for me personally. Like I would tell you, going to work, I turned it on and I was taking over at certain points, and I'm starting to think it was because I was getting a little bit impatient. Which I think that's going to be interesting. You know, these anxiety-inducing drives I think will be what causes problems until people get really comfortable. So that's gonna be interesting to see. But yeah, so far so good. I also like how vehicles are being detected in the parking lot. So to my right, the vehicle types are kind of accurate, right? You have a sedan, a van, a sedan, and it says in here, it shows a van, but it's actually a truck. Let me see if it changes as we drive. Nope, so it's pretty interesting. It's a truck. Oh, I wonder if it's gonna try to stop. Yep, shouldn't have did that. I just took over there, so that's one. Actually, I probably could have accelerated out of it, but it's okay. So try to stop. I sent a snapshot to Tesla. They're probably tracking. So what happened there? As I was driving, I had a green light, but you know how sometimes when you have these green lights, there's other lights in the area? So the vehicle tried to react to the other light. That was not meant for me, but for the other, group that was waiting for the lights to change. So the vehicle tried to stop. So what I did was essentially accelerate out of it. But I just kind of took over control because there was a vehicle next to me and I didn't want to create confusion. But not too bad. Not too bad. It's possible I also jinxed myself by talking about the disengagement free drives. Yeah, the stops are much better, less aggressive. And I think it's because of the use of the of regen braking to supplement physical braking. And I can actually tell when physical brakes are being applied because I can see the brake pedal depressing. I do wish the screen would tell you when the physical brakes were being applied, but it doesn't really matter in the grand scheme, no, as long as the car's driving, so I take that back. Actually, one thing I think could use some refinement, and maybe if there was a setting to gauge how far back you want to be from the vehicle that you're stopping in front of, but that might also not be necessary. Just looking at this problem set a little bit deeper, because other drivers like to react to how far you are away from another vehicle, whether or not it's good or bad. I think people have emotions sometimes, so maybe it's not even worth it. Funny, when I bought my first Tesla, I told my mom that the car can, drive itself on the highway for the most part. And she said to me, and I was like, yeah, I don't know how far apart I should have the vehicle be from other vehicles. And I was like, there's 1, there's 2, there's 3, and 4. I was like, I think I'm thinking 2. And she said, no, just make it 4 to be safe. And I thought that was pretty funny. But the truth is, the vehicle separation logic doesn't even work in these vehicles. I've never seen it actually work. So I stopped caring, from several years ago. I imagine it's probably better now. Maybe that's something I can see, test out. And again, one question is it even worth it to test out? Because on this beta, the vehicle's doing most of everything. I wonder if it detects strollers. And nope, it detected the baby in the stroller as a little puppy, and then it detected the baby in the stroller as a car. That is funny. I don't know if that's a bug report or not, but let's just make it a bug report. Maybe they'll see something. And I'll say, bug report, detected baby as a car. Wow, did you see that? I said bug report, detected baby as a car. And then the vehicle said navigated in Houston, Texas. Or Texas. That was interesting. Yeah, sometimes the voice recognition is below average. luckily it shows you on the screen what it's detecting, so that's kind of cool. Okay. I guess other considerations are what happens when you have a flat tire, right? Does the vehicle pull over to the side, or does it just stay there? I don't know. You know, are they going to require you to have run flats? Or the run flats pull you into the side, and then maybe another Tesla comes and pick you up on the Robo Taxi line of effort? I don't know. That sounds like a good approach.
In 500 feet, take the Interstate 66 East ramp on the right toward Roosevelt Bridge.
Yeah, they could be like, hey, you can't have your vehicle
Now take the
participate. They
Interstate
being Tesla.
66 East
You
ramp
can't
on the
have your
right.
vehicle be a Robo Taxi unless you have run flats. I think that's a good, let's call it all season run flat tires.
In
that
1,000
would be
feet,
a smart
take
approach.
exit 75 on the right onto Virginia 110 south toward Alexandria. Now take exit 75 on the right.
I got you.
In 1,000 feet, bear right onto Virginia 110 south. Now bear right onto Virginia 110 south.
I guess the other thing is just the discussion about the flow of traffic.
In 1,000 feet, take the Virginia 27 south exit on the right toward Interstate 395 south, Columbia Pike.
Yeah, because all these cars are in front of me and they're just like, whoop-de-doop-de-doo, I'm gonna go above the speed limit, and I'm just like, I'm at the speed limit plus 10%.
Now take the Virginia 27 south exit on the right.
That's pretty good. Excellent exit. Excellent maneuverability.
In 1,000 feet, take the Columbia Pike exit on the right toward Virginia 27, Wash Boulevard.
Okay, I essentially made it to my destination. So I consider this a win. Thank you all so much for joining me. I mean, I love sharing these drives because I think I would, if I was in everyone else's shoes, I would love to see. And actually, even now, I watch other people's videos actually because I want to know like what this looks like in different states. So when I drive to those states, I want to see like if I'm gonna have to, take over the whole time. But yeah, I would just love to see progress nationally. I think that would be cool to see. All right, well, thank you so much. I hope everyone has a wonderful weekend, and those of you in the East Coast, hopefully you all are safe during our next snowstorm. Take care. Bye.